Who's a senior resident affiliate at Georgetown University. She joins me live from Washington, D.C. Welcome to you, Deborah. There are only reports, it's speculation, but it could happen. A full occupation of the Gaza Strip. The phrase used is full occupation. I would say that's an invasion, isn't it? Do you think that is likely to happen?
I think that at this point, it's pretty clear that that's what Netanyahu wants to move forward with, because he is unwilling to take the steps that are necessary to actually end the war and bring home the hostages. And he is acting in his own personal interest to continue the war and continue evading personal responsibility. So I think it is at this point a question of what the rest of his cabinet, his security cabinet, is going to do. Apparently, a meeting of the security cabinet was just postponed because of the concerns about this plan of total reoccupation. We could talk about what that means of the Gaza Strip. But I do imagine that if this is what Netanyahu wants to move ahead with, that he will ultimately be able to deal with any concerns or resistance within the rest of his cabinet or beyond it. So I do fear that this is what's coming, but I think it's worth noting that the IDF Chief of Staff, Eyal Zamir, has indicated particular concerns with this plan. This is over and beyond the 600 retired Israeli security officials that are calling on Donald Trump to end the war. Zamir has a number of concerns, and among them is that this plan would lead to the deaths of the hostages that remain alive, if starving, in the Gaza Strip. But I do fear that this is where the Israeli government is heading, and I think we'll know very shortly.
And given that Benjamin Netanyahu's sworn objective throughout the war has been to annihilate Hamas, if we think this through, a full occupation, what would that look like? Would that be Israeli soldiers going door to door, trying to root out Hamas members? And it's absolutely undoubted there would just be an awful lot of street fighting going on and mass casualties.
Yes, so that is absolutely the concern. There is a good reason that Israel left the Gaza Strip when it did in 2005. It wasn't for humanitarian reasons. It was because it was detrimental to Israel's own military interests and the lives of its soldiers. But what this means is that Israel is going to take over control of the remaining roughly 25% of the Gaza Strip, or it's going to at least try to do that. And it's going to continue to face guerrilla warfare from the elements of Hamas that are left. Anyone who has studied counterterrorism or spoken to counterterrorism officials knows that you cannot ultimately destroy a terrorist organization, an ideology, an idea through this kind of military campaign, right? For those soldiers, those terrorists that you eliminate, you will ultimately be creating more in terms of the possibility for recruitment through hatred and terrible conditions that the population is encountering. So this is obviously going to be a terrible thing for the Palestinians. And it will be terrible for Israelis, both for members of the IDF, for the Israeli population, who just much of which at this point just wants to bring the hostages home and wants to bring this war to a close.
Deborah, it was great to have you on. Appreciate your expertise. Deborah Shushan, senior resident affiliate at Georgetown University. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.